is going to be collected and processed, and this is a problem. And finally, what we are seeing in terms of digital rights is that if you look at the net effect, when you have CCTV cameras with facial recognition, you have SIM card registration with biometrics, you have digital IDs, you have all these data collection programs that are being conducted in, countries where there's very limited respect for democratic rights, there's very limited respect for privacy, and they're autocratic governments. Then what we are saying is that it's creating a very good recipe for autocrats to continue to close the civic space. So it is important for governments to start taking action and stakeholders start taking action to stop the continuing surveillance. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor. For those who just walked in, we are basically going over some of the trends that have emerged in the new State of Internet Freedom in Africa report that CIPESA does every year. And so some of the things I've picked up is surveillance is a big issue. There's a lot of data collection going on by governments that didn't require biometric data before, but now that's like a trend. But then they also don't have the capacity to protect that information that they are collecting. So I think there are opportunities there for those countries that do not yet have data protection and privacy act, to maybe start advocating or pushing for that to happen in these countries where citizens are vulnerable because their data is just out there. And maybe to hear from the countries who have enacted the Data Protection and Privacy Act, like Zambia and others, maybe how did they come about, what did they do in that process to establish that? Simone?
Well, following the following these observation from the recognized principles and standards on data protection and privacy for biometric data collection, and to require the adoption of human right-based approaches. Also, governments of countries without data protection laws are called, for countries without data protection laws, I think of Cameroon, I think of Liberia, I think of Mozambique, Sierra Leone, and also Tanzania. Yes, of enacting that law, appropriate data protection frameworks as to guarantee the data protection and privacy rights to their citizens. And also government to ratify the AU Convention on Data Protection, on Cybersecurity and Data Protection, that is also known as the Malabo Convention, to ensure the government's commitment to regional and privacy as means to hold them accountable.